Imagine a place where the snow meets beautiful steaming waters and where adventure calls amidst the harshest winters, where you can be immersed in complete serenity and peace in nature. Welcome to Stanley, Idaho. This week, we're road tripping through Idaho. We came out here in the hopes of seeing a winter wonderland and bopping around a ton of different hot springs outside of Stanley. We've wanted to do a road trip out here for years, ever since we explored the Teton Valley a few years ago, and we knew we wanted to come back and explore more of Idaho since it's truly an underrated state with so many hidden gems. There's a few different ways to get into Stanley. We did it flying into Boise and then picking up a rental car and driving into Stanley that way. That took us about 3 hours or so. We had some snowy conditions. Sometimes it can be faster or slower based on your road conditions. Or you can fly into Sun Valley and drive to Stanley from there. Really up to your preference and what the flights are like for you.
So we're here staying in the town of Stanley, and we are at the Triangle Sea Cabins. There's not too many options for accommodations here in the winter in particular, but we loved our stay here. It's super cute. They have I think it's about 10 or 12 cabins, something like that. And it's been magical. You're right in the middle of town. You're right next to Mountain Village Hot Springs. And that's another accommodation that you can stay at, which is the Mountain Village Resort. That one seemed to be a little bit bigger. But yeah, you can stay at either one, and they're both awesome options. Those are probably the two most popular options, and you're right in the middle of town regardless. So this town during the winter time only has about 75-ish people living here, which is absolutely crazy. During the summertime, they have about 150 to 200 people, and then in the summertime, they get over 3 million visitors passing through Stanley. So very different than the winter time. There's basically vacancies everywhere here, especially because it gets pretty chilly. But if you're doing a hot springs road trip through Idaho, Stanley is the perfect destination to go for a little weekend or a week-long escape for some magical snow.
So when we got here, this hot spring is not at all what we thought it was gonna be. Typically, there's a big cauldron right about here. You can see the cement piece behind me. The cauldron actually was swept away in a big flash flood during the spring from overflooding. But right now we have this PVC pipe that you can see right behind me. That is what is feeding in all of the hot water. So there are 3 pools right now that the locals have built, just putting in different pieces of rock and sediment, and you can make them as hot or as cold as you want. The nice thing about doing this during winter is we have all this snow right behind us, so we can immediately put snow inside the hot springs. Makes it really easy.
There's usually a bucket that you can do this with, but you can't find the bucket right now because it's snowed in.
And it's pretty magical. The snow is falling on us, nice and warm in the hot springs. We're gonna keep enjoying. And once again, this is Boat Box Hot Spring. Completely not at all what we thought it was gonna be, but it's absolutely stunning. The car is literally right there. So we can be in the car if we want, and then immediately come down and jump in the hot springs and get nice and cozy. You have a beautiful view of the mountains over there. Then on the other side, we have this beautiful forest, so both sides are just stunning. First hot spring is done. To get up, look at how easy this is. There's just a little dirt path you cruise up. Then we're back at the car. Easy peasy.
Number 2 called Sunbeam Hot Springs. It's about a 10-minute drive from Boat Box, and if you have the time, you can also stop at the Creek Hot Springs right before this, like 5 minutes away. It's in between Boat Box and here. We didn't because it was a little snowy and a little sketchy to get down, but if you guys are coming when the conditions are right, there is another set of hot springs you can visit before you get to these ones. They have a ton of these little pipes that you can fill this pool in and this pool with, and all you have to do is wait for it to fill up and you're all good. Which we've had to come and refill it a few times and then take it out because it got too hot. But since it's snowing, it's like the perfect little juxtaposition between hot and cold. So yeah, it's so nice. This tub is like straight out of a movie, magical right now with all this snow. The natural ones are really nice too, whereas the last one we went to at Boat Box was a lot more rocks on the bottom. This one's a lot more like sand. Just keep that in mind. A little more slippery to get down to. But yeah, we've just been chilling here for like an hour and it's been so amazing. Highly recommend.
Look at my tripod, man. Look at this. It is covered, the backpack. Off to the next one. We're now at our third hot spring for the day. This is Mountain Village Hot Spring, and we have it all to ourselves, mostly because you do have to reserve this. If you're staying at Mountain Village, you can get here for free, but since we are not staying here, we have to call or stop at the front desk to make reservations. They can fit up to 8 people in here, but luckily, we got it all to ourselves. It does cost a little bit of money. For the 2 of us, it was $32 with getting in and the taxes. I believe it's $25 if it's just one person, plus probably the taxes, but this one is extremely nice because it is a resort hot spring, so it has a little bit of a build up with the cabin. It has a stunning view of the mountains here. We are here during sunset and it is absolutely beautiful. What a fantastic first day chasing all of our different Idaho hot springs, and it looks like tomorrow potentially it might not be snowing as much, so we are going to try and visit 4 tomorrow.
Good morning, it's day 2, just getting up. It looks like it snowed a little bit last night, but it looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. It's our last day here in Stanley. We'll be heading back towards Boise, hopefully hitting 3 new hot springs. Whew. It's a nice 15 degrees this morning.
So we've made it to Bonneville Campground, or at least the entrance for it. We're doing the snowshoe trail up to the hot springs, which is about 2.6 miles round trip. We have to park a little bit a ways because there's no parking over here during the winter time. During the summertime, it's only like a 0.6 mile hike, like it's super short. But since there's no road access because of all the snow, obviously, it's a little more of a trek. So we've got our snowshoes and our poles, all our layers, and we got our hand warmers, our extra layers, extra socks, you name it, in our bags. So we're gonna do a little jaunt over and we'll take you along once we get to the hot springs. So we made it here to Bonneville Hot Springs. It took us about 50 minutes to snowshoe from the parking area through the campground all the way here. Super beautiful trail, and this is the first little area of the hot springs. There's a little tub in here that you can start to warm up in, and then there's all these springs kind of cascading down to the lower ones down by the river. So we're gonna soak in both, and we have it all to ourselves right now. Perks of making the effort out here, and we're excited to just soak in them for a little bit.
This is probably one of the most beautiful hot springs out of all the ones we've been to. We have this beautiful creek going down the middle. It is currently snowing on us, which makes it even more magical. But we want to talk to you briefly about hot spring etiquette. There are a few things that you want to make sure you know when you're coming to the hot springs. Number one is quite a few of them are clothing optional. So if you guys are coming with family, or if you guys are coming and you're not too comfortable with nudity, just be aware. I might go really early or maybe a little bit later. Middle of the day tends to be the most busy, although we have it all to ourselves right now. Number 2 is make sure that you guys are not peeing in the hot springs. You want to keep the hot springs as clean as possible. Hike up a bit, get away from the water source, at least 100 yards, and then you can use the bathroom, but make sure you keep the hot springs as clean as possible. The next one is if you're in a private tub, like here at Bonneville, there is a private tub you can hang in. That's where we put most of our stuff just to keep it out of the weather. In that hot tub, I would only recommend spending maybe 45 minutes to an hour, especially if it gets really busy. You want to make sure that you're respectful to other people coming in so that they have a chance to do it too. Next is no glass at the hot springs. The worst thing that you can do is you're drinking a beer bottle, glass falls, and it gets inside. Under here, it's just sand and sediment. So you want to make sure that you keep everyone's feet safe. We walked all the way from the upper piece down here barefoot, and we felt completely safe because there's no glass around. So if you guys do bring things to drink, make sure it's either plastic or aluminum. And the last thing is please be respectful of the locals. They keep these hot springs. They're the people that build all these different rock pools. That way we can sit in the hot springs coming down, even though there is an ice cold river directly next to us. But so far, this has been absolutely incredible. So magical to do during winter, and you get that juxtaposition of the nice warm water with the snow falling on you. But just a couple things to think about when you are going to the hot springs. We're now here at Kirkham Hot Springs. We just saw someone leave, so now we have the place all to ourselves. It is snowing in clumps now. It's beautiful because when you catch them, they actually look like real snowflakes. But you park right on the road. It's about a 0.2 mile walk over, so probably about 5 minutes. Quite a few people have been here, so we're not even wearing our snowshoes. And typically during the summer, it does cost $5 to go and use the hot springs. But today there's a big sign. Since it's winter, it is free. So we're gonna keep on cruising. Let's go check out some more hot springs.
So we just got out of Kirkham. We were only there for like maybe 30 minutes because it started snowing really, really hard.
We're leaving.
Oh my God, so cold.
It won't stop snowing. All right, let's get to the chopper.
And the pool's only 81 degrees compared to the other pools that we've been in during the rest of this trip that were over 100. So all the snow plus it being a colder pool, we were getting pretty cold pretty fast. So we decided to skirt out of there. It was super beautiful. I can imagine why it gets so busy in the summer. This is probably the most popular hot spring in the Stanley area, especially because it's pretty close to Boise as well. But yeah, we're gonna go potentially find one more hot spring for the day, depending on the conditions. It's kind of whiteouty right now. But yeah, if not, that was a really fun one to end on. And we'll see you at the potential next hot spring. We are at our final stop of our Idaho Hot Springs road trip. We are at Pine Flats, and it's super beautiful. We're the only ones here once again. And this one's really interesting because it has these pools that overlook this cliff.
Here is our hot spring, and here's our stuff, and there's the cliff. So it is a little bit sketchy, but pretty epic.
And it also has a pool over by the waterfalls falling off the cliff on both sides, on like in front of us and on the side of us. The one that's super famous is on the other side. Right now, since it is winter, you do have to do a little bit of a water crossing into the winter, or into the river. So just keep that in mind with the footwear required because it is really cold out here. But usually it's about a 0.6 mile hike from the campground. Right now the campground's closed, so it took us probably about 15 to 20 minutes to get over to the pools. And it was all downhill. So we're gonna have quite the trek back up to the parking lot when we are all done here. Yeah, I mean, this one's really nice. This one's much hotter than the previous ones. It's about 103 to 105 degrees. And so it's a nice way to finish the day and end up with a nice hot spring. There's so many pools at this particular hot spring. Pine Flats probably has like at least 7 just on the cliff itself, plus the pools down below by the waterfall. So it's nice. So if it is a little busier, you can kind of spread out. Some of them are very lukewarm and others are really hot. We decided to get one in the one that's really, really hot. Come here early if you want pick of the crop. And we came here later in the day. So like right before sunset, that's another good option as well. This one typically also costs $5 for entry. So just keep that in mind when you guys are doing this whole road trip. Carry lots of $5 bills because I think about 3 of them required $5 bills. And then also make sure you download Google Maps. It's really, really beneficial in this area. You do not have any service really from the drive from Boise to Stanley and back. So make sure you have your Google Maps downloaded so that you can actually get directions to all the hot springs and not get lost consistently. And with that, thank you so much for watching our winter hot springs road trip through Idaho. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And we will see you guys on the next adventure.
Goodbye.